GPT-5's rollout hits some snags and resistance. Authors are seeking the largest AI copyright class action in history. Apple taps OpenAI's GPT-5 for its tools. Tech billionaires build doomsday bunkers. Do they know something we don't? Welcome to #Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. We all talk about the speed at which AI develops and implements, but it's possible we're getting a case of some high expectations. There was a time when a global rollout would take weeks, but OpenAI's new GPT-5 was released to close to 700 million global users in less than 24 hours, including the users in its free tier. Not surprisingly, Murphy's Law entered into the picture and turned what was a fairly impressive demo of the new AI features into a huge foobar. The demo impressed, but when it hit the real world, things got messy. Apparently, there was an initial failure in what's called the auto switcher, the system that quietly decides how much reasoning power each request gets. And now, since OpenAI only presents one model, GPT-5, its ability to automatically select which model or approach will apply to a request didn't function correctly, and for many, GPT-5's answers fell shorter, were more rigid, and sometimes were just plain wrong. Sam Altman had to come out and make a promise that GPT-5 will seem smarter starting today. Yesterday, Auto Switcher was out of commission for a chunk of the day, and the result was GPT-5 seemed way dumber. And the problems with GPT-5 exacerbated another problem that OpenAI didn't see coming. People were upset with GPT-4 being removed. It was the model many Plus subscribers had come to rely on for its tone and flexibility. So OpenAI may have underestimated just how much people valued having GPT-4 as an option. With GPT-5 underperforming, that loss hit harder, sparking a wave of frustration and, in some cases, outright anger on social media and other forums. The backlash was severe. I want to say, to their credit, OpenAI reacted quickly. Within 48 hours, GPT-4o was back for Plus users, GPT-5's usage limits were doubled, and the company promised clearer model labels, reasoning mode, and personality settings. The fact that a global rollout of this nature had some issues may be regrettable, but it's not the first software rollout where day one had some bumps. So as impressive as an immediate rollout to the world might be, is it really a good idea to release something this new to an entire user base, being the entire world at once? Maybe take a day or so to have some limited rollouts. Because big tech changes aren't about the code. They're about trust. And when you don't meet user expectations and you violate that trust, the reaction can be stronger than you expect. Might be a lesson in this for all of us. A U.S. federal judge has certified class action status for authors, potentially up to 7 million of them, who allege that Anthropic used pirated copies of their books to train its Claude AI model without their consent. This started with 3 authors, but now could cover a much, much larger group. If successful, damages awarded would apply across the entire class, potentially scaling into billions of dollars. While that's more efficient than millions of individual suits, it consolidates risk into a single, high-stakes verdict. For authors, a class action lowers individual legal costs, it pools resources, and it ensures consistent rulings. For the defendants, the companies, it's riskier. One loss applies to everyone. But a win could resolve the matter quickly. But critics say it can also pressure companies to settle, even if they believe they might prevail in individual cases. The amount of the damages awarded in this situation could be in the billions, devastating to Anthropic and potentially a huge liability for the entire AI industry. And with the stakes involved, there is going to be real pressure in these types of cases to settle, even for relatively high amounts. As a real-world benchmark, The Napster music copyright class action settled for over $100 million, despite having far fewer rights holders and for lesser amounts. With millions of works potentially implicated here, the scale could be vastly larger. Anthropic and other AI firms are arguing training on publicly accessible works qualifies as fair use, essential to innovation. And in fairness, there's going to be a real challenge to prove the violations, and hence the penalties are the same across all authors. But the fair use defense has yet to be tested at this pace and at this scope. And as we noted, the stakes could be enormous. After months of rumors and off-again, on-again internal development versus partnership with Perplexity or OpenAI, Apple has confirmed that starting with iOS 26, iPad OS 26, and Mac OS Tahoe 26 updates, expected as soon as next month, it will integrate OpenAI's GPT5 into its Apple Intelligence Suite, replacing the current GPT-4 models. For users, this means that when Apple's system encounters a complex query through Siri, writing tools, or visual intelligence, GPT-5 will be the AI engine driving the answer. No OpenAI account is required, although connecting one unlocks premium benefits. Apple's move highlights both opportunities and limitations. GPT-5 brings improved reasoning, writing, coding, voice, and personalization capabilities, potentially raising the bar for AI on device and in the cloud. But the upgrade does not address Apple's deeper challenge. Its own AI infrastructure still lags competitors, prompting reliance on OpenAI while it supposedly develops in-house alternatives. Although this week, Apple made an astonishing announcement about multi-token predictions. And multi-token is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of one single token at a time, multiple tokens are processed at the same time. Apple researchers reported average speedups of 2 to 3 times for general tasks like question answering and chat applications, with even more dramatic improvements for specialized work, up to 5 times faster for coding and mathematical problems where token patterns are more predictable. Now, this is a phenomenal leap forward, but it just adds to the confusion. What is Apple doing internally with AI? On one hand, they did the technical equivalent of a faceplant with their Apple Intelligence, an embarrassing big yawn and lots of promises but no deliveries. And now they come out of the gates with a huge innovation on processing speeds, which could blow the doors off AI. Yet, despite that, they seem to be dependent on an outside partner like OpenAI to provide what for many are now basic AI services. I'm glad of one thing. I'm not in the business of having to make predictions on this stuff. We'll find out in the fall with the new announcements, I guess. When Sam Altman compared GPT-5's launch to the Manhattan Project and admitted there were moments when he thought, what have we done? Some commentators, Waugh included, noted the apocalyptic nature of his comments. What does Altman know that we don't? But reports now suggest it's not just Altman. Other tech billionaires, including Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Peter Thiel, are investing in fortified shelters designed for a global crisis. Altman's is relatively modest for a billionaire, and don't believe that I make $70,000 a year from him. The guy drives a $2 million car, he has a $40 million house, but his shelter is a relatively modest, reinforced underground basement. Mark Zuckerberg is reportedly building a 5,000 square foot bunker in Hawaii with blast-proof doors and self-sustaining systems. Jeff Bezos and Peter Thiel have also secured remote fortified properties, some in places as far-flung as New Zealand, outfitted for long-term survival. These luxury bunkers, costing millions, are designed to withstand threats ranging from pandemics to cyber attacks, climate disasters, and even geopolitical conflict. For the ultra-wealthy, they're both a safety net and, increasingly, a status symbol. But you have to ask yourself, are these billionaires simply indulging in some extravagant fad? Or do they know something we don't? And that's our show. If you like what we're doing, please share the show with others. Give us a like or a comment on your favorite podcast app or site. We are found everywhere: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. We're back on Alexa speakers, hooray, and hope to get back on Google smart speakers soon. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at technewsday.ca or .com. Just go to the Contact Us page, and while you're there, if you'd like to support what we're doing, you could go to the Donate tab and consider contributing the cost of a cup of coffee a month to support the show. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just leave a comment under the video. But your contributions would be gratefully accepted as well. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a marvelous Monday.